Wait, so god damn it. Hey, you should restart it?
What
You
the
just cut the
fuck?
beginning part out. Just fucking go. Just delete the other ones. So
Guess.
there's no point.
Who
Alright,
gives a
Aaron,
fuck at this point?
Yeah.
Aaron, introduce us, bro.
Okay, I'm your co-host Aaron. You can call me Aaron or Chilo, or on the streets they call me Young Bright Eyes, or my friends can call me Moist Dick, or you
Young
bitches out
Bright
there you can
Eyes?
call me Prince Chulo or Shorty, or if you're on Xbox, Short Tortoise or Short T. For my homies on the streets they call me Lombergas or Ya Boy. And here, here's my co-host. We'll start off with Dimitri.
What's up? Hey.
What are they calling you on the streets?
Sorry. I'm camera
They
shy.
call him Gay Boy. Wait, fuck, I already
Wow.
fucked it up. I can't say that shit, bro. God damn it.
Doesn't matter, bro.
Shut
It's okay. We
up,
know
just
gay
keep
guys.
going.
Fucking fine. We know gay guy. We're friends with them. We're cool. Anyway.
This is also my other co-host Nick.
What's up?
You can call him Nicholas or Dicklets.
Especially that second one.
And also my other co-host Gabriel.
Hi.
Love you.
And then we got Alex.
Oh my god.
And then we got and there's Alex, baby.
Hi.
All right. In our last fucking podcast, we talked about Back for Blood, bruh. Now we played the game. Thoughts?
Well, we ain't played it, but we played the beta.
Better than nothing.
It's not dog shit. I just think right now
It's dog shit.
we're going in the wrong direction. By we, I mean Turtle Rock. What the fuck is going on, bro?
Game was
What's
fucking
going on?
boring, bro. The game was so boring, man.
I thought the verses was really fun though.
It was all right.
It was alright.
It was all right in my opinion. So here's the thing, right? If you come from a perspective where if you're like us and you play the game, well, the original or quote unquote the original Left 4 Dead, Left 4 Dead 2, right? Everybody that plays Back for Blood, or mostly everyone that plays Back for Blood, at least knows about Left 4 Dead, Left 4 Dead 2, and for the majority part have at least played it. Left 4 Dead 2, the most attractive part about it, still to this day on PC, and a surprising amount of players still play it on Xbox 360, even as sweaty as they are. It's the versus mode, right? Versus 4v4, 4 survivors, 4 infected, right? Extremely competitive, even though there's jack shit to offer for rewards, right? But still, fun. Nonetheless, the fact is that the way that they changed the verses, and I know it's all about trying to be invigorating or try to reinvent yourself, right? Because Turtle Rock knows that everyone knows them because of Left 4 Dead, and going into Back 4 Blood, you want to put out a product that it's different and it can bring in a bigger audience. But a problem I always have with studios always trying to do something different rather than trying to do the same tried and true thing is that when you do something different, you're kind of cutting a pretty good chunk out of the player base that built you, you know? If Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2, and yeah, I know other people can say Half-Life also built them, or no, they didn't make Half-Life Port, excuse me. That's a whole Valve thing. But if Turtle Rock Studios was built because of Left 4 Dead, right, why wouldn't you want to encourage the players of the past, you know, to play your game? Granted, people will still play it, but the versus now, it's probably the most important part to make your game, and the fact that it is changed to solely in arena mode, I kind of feel like I got shot in the heart. It's like a personal vendetta, but I know other people aren't going to feel like that. I mean, Nick, you say you enjoyed it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but what aspects of it did you enjoy?
I enjoyed that like you can just get into it right away and there wasn't this big whole campaign that you have to sit through. And the loading screens weren't long either. It was like quick and you can get right to it. But I do wish they add a campaign mode later because I think
Uh-huh.
that'll be more enjoyable.
Gabriel, Dimitri, y'all both said mostly negative, but what's the negatives behind y'all?
I didn't like the arena. I like the campaign feature. I do like how we can forward and see how far a team can get and all that. Like
Mhm.
it's more interesting like that. Not interesting, but entertaining.
I don't know. I just got bored of it pretty quick. Like the first time we
What?
played, we didn't get through the whole campaign. Like that was super long, and then like what the fourth run through we went, or me and Nick and another friend went through it. Finally, we finished the campaign.
Oh, that's right, we did.
Bro,
We-
I didn't even finish the campaign myself.
Campaigns are long as hell, bro.
Yeah,
I wouldn't even say
the
that.
quote unquote half of it. That's and I already hated it by probably like the second level. I was already disinterested in the game.
And they're so forgettable too.
fucking hate the one-liners, dog. The characters have no fucking development. That's
Oh
one
my
thing I
god.
fucking
What
hate.
is the
I
name of that
know.
guy that wears
Holy
the headband?
shit.
That guy annoyed the crap out
Angelo?
of me, man. Yeah, dude, that guy was so annoying, man. He never shut up.
Yeah, man, going into this with the reveal trailer, I remember when they showed off Evangelo, I was kind of like he was supposed to be like the comic relief for the group, so I started to think, maybe he's supposed to be like the Ellis of like this new generation, right? No,
The fucking
Ellis to
pussy.
this day can say some dumbass shit and it still makes you laugh, But like, I don't know, like Evangelo says one fucking thing and he's like Meg from Family Guy, where she needs to be pinned to the stake, It's just,
Yeah.
oh my god. But speaking of one-liners, it's not just Evangelo, it's every single fucking character.
Mhm.
Every character has a
They don't
one-liner.
even
I
have
was
like
like,
conversation, you know?
no, like no. Ironically, they do have more conversations, but the conversations are basically more like, "Oh, we need to get here and to do this. Yeah, let's do it."
Well,
I
when
I
me
hated
and
that.
when me and Dimitri were playing, with my friend, they did have one conversation where they were talking about Holly's past, which was pretty dark, but that only happened once out of the fucking 5 times we played that campaign,
Mhm.
and that was probably the only good dialogue that they've had. The rest of it's just
Yeah.
annoying.
I
I
know,
kind of
but
it makes me go back to the times where I'm me and my buddy Keith, you know. Like
Okay.
I fucking I
Those
miss
are
that, you
some
know.
good times, bro. Some good times.
Keith, you still
yeah,
hear Ellis say some shit that you haven't heard like ever.
right? Like to this day, I feel like there's still new dialogue you find from that motherfucker. But you go to Evangelo, and I feel like I've already heard the same dialogue piece already 10 times, and it's only been 5 minutes of gameplay. It's just like, I don't know.
Hey
It's
man,
like,
why you shoot me? Oh, sorry.
yeah, I know, right? But like, nothing has the same, I guess, gravitas to it. Like, someone says something, and it just feels like, I don't know, like military spec dialogue. It's very flat. The characters are
Yeah.
very flat. You have Walker, who is a very cliche veteran, which I know people would say, well, wasn't Bill supposed to be a cliche veteran? But the guy was supposed to be the old guy of the group, which was kind of like a relief of separating himself from the other younger cast. Then you had Zoe to be the super young one in the group, so Bill and Zoe were two contrary opposites. You had Lewis, who was the optimistic one, and you had Francis be the pessimistic, so there were two groups within that four-player group. Then Left 4 Dead 2 comes out, and a little weird part happened where now Ellis was comic relief, and Coach was a leader mentor. Nick was, for some reason, the very, I don't know, ominous one, very secretive, very to himself, and selfish. And then Rochelle was Rochelle. It was the worst fucking character we ever had. But but that's a story for another day. But there at least was an attempt to make each character something different. You move to Back for Blood, and you're like, I could have sworn the same people that are making this game were the ones that made Left 4 Dead 1 and 2. What the fuck happened? Walker is just a basic veteran, very hard, very trusted, and just very level-headed. But there's no reaction that gets out of him. Holly is probably the only one that has any character out of her, but I'm pretty sure the reason it's like that is because they specifically made her like the poster girl of the game. She's the narrator, the introduction. She's the trailer narration. She's basically there. Like she has to be good. If they fuck up Holly, then the game's fucked up for sure. But Holly is just one part of the game when it comes to character development. Everyone else is just a complete fuck up. Evangelo is just one-liner generator number 3000, and Walker. Well, no, not Walker. Hoffman. Hoffman's okay. He's just okay.
I wish it was weirder. That's what I wish.
Yeah, like I like that. He had that really weird John Goodman vibes from The Big Lebowski. The same Vietnam vet, the same weird, like.
What I got from him was Stullinger from fucking Black Ops 2. That's what I got.
Yeah, that too. They had the same attire as well. Uh, but going back to the versus thing, it's just the versus is so different. And I remember when we were playing the beta, I was like, "Yo, when are we gonna play the versus campaign?" And I remember Nick, you told me you're like, "No, I don't think it's in the beta. I think they'll introduce it later." I was like, "Oh, okay." And then the very next day, I read an article that says, "No, there are no plans for a campaign versus." I was like, "No, bro." I was like, "That's the last fucking thing I wanted to hear." I genuinely thought we were getting a campaign versus. That's the only reason why I was so hyped for the game in the first place, because we can finally enter, you know, a new era of quote unquote Left 4 Dead. I know everyone's probably hates the fucking looking back, but at the same time, this is the reason why we get hyped for this kind of game is because we played these games before, and it's kind of like I said, a new generation that you enter, and to feel that it's different in a sense where it doesn't even feel like the creators of the past made the previous games as to this game, it's too different. It honestly doesn't feel like there's I don't know, like a segment to follow. uh, versus is just an arena. And I think they got that from Evolve, which was their last game, because Evolve was more of like a very open map, and it's cat and mouse. But there was an arena mode that they introduced midway through the game's life, and that mode was meant to stop big long playthroughs on versus. I mean, on the hunt game mode to make it small, which is the reason why the director said of this game that they wanted to just make it an arena mode, so that people aren't playing through a 1 hour long campaign. That's usually how long we take, right? In a versus 4v4 online in Left 4 Dead 2.
Yeah,
Around there.
about an hour and a half.
Yeah, so the director had said, well, we don't want to make a campaign because most people don't want to play 1 hour for one match. It just doesn't make any sense, especially in a new generation where people play a quick Call of Duty match in 5 minutes. That's a pretty stark comparison. People's time span on games has reduced more and more, so it just doesn't make any sense nowadays. But I would argue against it.
Well, I guess it would also be kind of difficult with the way they have their campaign segments into like 2 segments of fucking 8 different, I guess 8 different like safe houses to go to.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So to do verses in that, maybe they would have to individualize like each segment, or like do the first four is one stage and the second four is like another stage you can select, like how you can select the different campaigns. But to be honest, I'm not too sure. They're kind of short. So,
Also the difficulty from easy to like
oh my
hardcore
god,
mode.
yeah.
Yeah.
Intense. Quite the jump.
Yeah, I remember when the beta at first went live. One of the directors had said, well, we want to use the beta mainly because we want to see how the online works, and also on top to see how our difficulties are, because some of the internal teams have said, oh, we don't know if this one's too easy or too difficult. You fucking think? Holy shit, dude! The easy difficulty is way too easy. It is brain dead difficulty. The next difficulty, which is quote unquote normal, genuinely feels like a hard difficulty. I didn't even play the hardest difficulty, did y'all?
Dude, yes, oh my fucking god, we got, like, on the first campaign, we got about maybe like 25% of the way to the first safe. Nah, I think we got about 75% of the first safe house, but we are all fucked. Like, dude, it's fucking brutal. Like, sometimes we didn't even make it up the stairs of the first safe house. Like, holy
Yeah.
fuck, it kicks your ass. I kind of like
Shit.
it though, huh?
Yeah, but you can masochist.
Yeah,
That's
but you're a
fine.
masochist.
That's true. I do play most of my games on the hardest difficulty.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, difficulty it's kind of fucked right now. But I mean, granted, they're gonna change it anyways. The arena thing on versus that has me pulled back. I canceled my pre-order. I'm gonna wait until the game does better. I'm willing to guarantee that the game later on through its life cycle they're gonna add a campaign. I feel like there were so many articles written out about the campaign not being included that I feel like they're at this point just going to be obligated to do it for the sake of expanding the game. They already have roadmaps put out. I feel like that would be like a great big like end of season thing to put out. So they said that they were going to continue developing the game over the years. So I feel like it's bound to happen.
Mm, I don't know. I guess we were just going into it like already thinking, yeah, it's gonna be the best game ever. I don't know, it's gonna be just like either a little bit less as good as Left 4 Dead or like maybe on par with it because of like the new system that they're bringing in.
Mhm.
But
What do you guys
I
think
don't know.
about the
It's a
cards?
bit.
I despise them.
Yeah,
To be honest,
I
I didn't
really,
understand them and I already hated them.
I mean, you hardly even played the game, so. But I like the
Yeah,
card
gross.
system for the verses. I thought verses and the card system worked well. For the campaign, I'm kind of iffy about that one still.
Yeah, campaign should just leave it by itself. Like you don't shouldn't add anything crazy. Like no fucking bronze coins, nothing. Just go, get out. I like the fact that you can add attachments to your gun though. Like you can buy attachments with that shit, or you can find different leveled guns on the ground the farther you go into the campaign. That's what I noticed. Like later on in the campaign, they find purple like rarity weapons on the ground.
I hate that you can't take off your attachments, but that'll probably be changed, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah, because some sites are kind of dog shit.
Yeah.
There's no need for like an ACOG when you're fucking going hardcore with zombies coming at you for like full force. Like
Yeah, I feel like
you're not gonna
ACOG's kind of
snipe them.
useless in this game.
Shit like that. Like pointless as fuck. But I
In
don't
my
know.
opinion, I just despise the cards because of the way that the campaign flowed. Or,
Mm.
yeah, the way that the campaign flowed is because at the what is it at the beginning of the match, and I think every single safe house you hit, the first thing you get is a prompt for, oh, choose your first 5 cards, and then you get to the next safe house. I'll choose another card. It's I get so fucking frustrated looking at which cards, and I'm pretty sure they're prioritized by the order they come in, that you set them up at the camp, right?
Not prioritized, but that's the way they come in based on how you have them.
Okay, but I don't know. I feel like they need to change it to where if they're gonna keep the card system, which granted I feel like they're gonna keep it regardless. I feel like they should just prioritize maybe a 5 card system, where it's a 5 card uh how do I put it? Like a deck. How much was a deck? Was it 15 or 20 cards, something like that?
Oh shit, I remember. I think it was
I
15
don't
Yeah,
remember
or
the
15.
exact number.
Well, versus
Let's
was 15. I think campaign was 10.
let's assume it's 15, right? And let's say you assemble a 15 card deck, right? If they could do it 2 ways, they grab 5 random cards out of those 15 and it'll draw a deck for you, and it'll just give you those 5 cards for that run. And then you can, after that, each safe house you can choose one, right? So you can build up that meta build. But I feel like that encourages people to just quit and restart. But if you have 4 players, the luck is real much harder, so I don't think people are going to be restarting as much, if that makes any sense. Or instead, you just choose 5 cards for a deck and that's it. You just roll those, and the next ones are just boost, boost, boost. Because by the end of the 3rd level of each campaign, at that point, I'm literally just choosing a boost after boost after boost, and it's like I feel the cards become more useless and useless, and it's just so annoying that every single time I load up into a new level, I have to select a new fucking card that's gonna be the same card I choose every single time. Like, stop wasting my time with this shit, dude. It gets annoying after a while.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I don't know. In versus it works kind of, but once you're in the campaign, it could be a little annoying.
I wanna go from how we are now, where please choose a card. I wanna go back to then towards the yo man, Savannah's awesome. You know, where going straight into the gameplay. It's just like fuck, man.
Yeah, the loading
Yeah.
screens were kind of long between like choosing a card and waiting for all the players to load up between each campaign. That's the only I didn't like that part.
Yeah, especially the
Yeah,
fact that
but
you can't just like go without anybody like not that is not choosing their card. You have to like wait for everybody to
To
choose their
finish.
card. They could be doing something. Thank God we don't know anybody like that, right? Huh? But
Yeah, could it be me?
yeah. That's the like one part I thought was annoying about the game. They have to wait for everybody to fucking be ready, and then you can just go and like Left 4 Dead, or you just open the door and you're just fucking going. And you don't wait for anybody.
Chill.
Like waiting for people's kind of ass.
One thing I wish they remove completely when the game comes out is the continues for the campaign. I feel like that's so stupid. Having to make you
The what?
restart the continues. Like if you lose 3 times, like, that's the end of your campaign run.
Oh
Where
yeah.
it feels like an arcade game.
Yeah, like that's so
Wait,
dumb. Like,
it's
why
like
can't you
that?
just let me keep replaying
Yeah.
it? Yeah. Like maybe on the hardest difficulty, like Nightmare, like okay, put on 3 continues. But even on the easiest difficulty, you still have only 3 continues.
I never even finished the first campaign. I think the farthest I ever got was what's it
I think it
called?
was like the
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 third
sixth
level.
or like fifth one that we went to. I no, because we would always get stuck on the sixth or fifth area, and then that's where we would like stop playing.
The
It
level
was
I
eight.
stopped at was when you appear at a ranch after you clear the
Oh, I
mission
know what you're
on the
talking
ferry. There's a mission that comes after that. I completed that one. There was a mission after that. Like, the levels
Mm.
stop to feel connected, and then it starts to feel like you're just jumping into a new campaign. You know, kind of like how, let's say, for example, Dead Center, the theme was a mall, Dark Carnival was a carnival, Swamp Fever was a swamp, Hard Rain was a small town, and the parish was New Orleans, the New Orleans streets. Uh, the first campaign literally just feels like run downtown, industrial, and a ranch, like, and a swamp. Like, all 4 of those, I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, are we still in the same campaign? Maybe we weren't. I mean, I just wasn't fucking paying attention. But holy shit.
Yeah.
Now I get you. They're like drastically different. Um, yeah, I don't really know what's happening with the story there, so I can't really say. All I know is that they were trying to catch up to some people so they can close like a hole to something where like the written are coming out of. That's all I know.
Were
Yeah.
we? Was that the whole
Yeah.
point?
Yeah, at the end you
Yeah.
close a hole with like this huge artillery, like bomb it, and then close it up.
But when we played it, there was no like there was supposed to be like this hard ass battle where you have to like shoot it 5 times for all the rubber to come down to close the hole, right? It seals the tunnel. Dude, there was like maybe one like mini boss
Ridden.
infected, like the yeah,
One
and he was
ridden.
stuck at the fucking entrance.
And
So all we had to do was just load that like big ass gun 5 times and we were good.
it was the most anticlimactic shit in the world, dude. Not a single ridden fucking
Yeah.
spawn. We were just there loading the turret for like fucking 5 minutes straight.
Bugged out, I'm assuming.
Yeah, bugged out
Yeah.
hard.
No.
I think that was on the last one was the easiest fucking one
That's tough.
throughout the whole campaign.
Mm.
And all that happened in the end, like there wasn't even like any fucking like badass like music that you're like fucking leaving like in Left 4 Dead once you're done. It comes with that like
Dun,
music and
dun,
shit. Nah, you just get into a fucking you go into an RV and you fucking
Mhm.
jet. That's all. That's not as good. Yeah, I don't know. It I don't know. It was very lackluster the ending of the campaign. Probably because it was bugged as shit, right? But I think even if it's not bugged,
All right.
you'll be like, was that worth it? Was it? Also, the speedrunning. That is gonna be a fucking
I
crazy
think
thing
with
in this
speed
game.
running, you can create builds specifically tied to stamina and
Mhm.
melee. Because I know there's certain cards that with melee you gain stamina after a kill, and there's melee boost. But the melee is
Hardy.
also completely broken. But my god, like that shit needs to be fixed too. But I feel like the cards can specifically be tuned to make a speedrunning build. But if it's not built for speedrunning, just trying to sprint through the map is so goddamn difficult. Especially since the maps they're very I don't know, they're very narrow. So essentially when you want to sprint through something, the director will intentionally spawn something in the middle of something you can't sprint around. So I feel like they're very anti sprinting, even though ironically this one
Can
has no versus
update your
campaign, so
stamina.
yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I found the stamina, like, I know, like, you know, all that. But I kind of miss the time where you just, like, speed walking, you know? I don't like the stamina, like, sprinting, like, speed walk, you know?
Like Left 4 Dead 2, just full 100 health.
Yeah.
Oh, you felt like you were
Or
fast as fuck. And you just like
slow down.
OD on like adrenaline or some shit, and you just like are just fucking speedrunning through it. Oh my god. All right, whatever. Anyways, any any final thoughts on Back for Blood?
Game shit, not gonna buy it.
Jeez.
I'm definitely keeping
Yeah,
my
right.
pre-order. I can't wait for it to come out. But that's all I think of the game.
No, realistically, I did not find it in the game entertaining. I don't know if it's just because we played so many zombie games in the last, what, 5 years that, like, I'm already just poofed out of zombies, and the only zombie game I enjoy is Left 4 Dead. But to be honest, like, anytime I pick up a new zombie game, I'm just very, like, disinterested in it, and I prefer playing
Well,
Left 4
because you
Dead
played it like,
or COD
or
Zombies.
because you played it like once and then never played it again.
No, I played it a couple times, and I just didn't like it. I was just bored with it.
Yeah, it got boring very fast.
I
The
think in my
versus
opinion,
was
campaigns
okay.
got pretty boring. The versus was okay. I canceled my pre-order. I'm gonna wait to see if they tune the game out a little bit more, just to see if they refine it more. I might be more interested in buying the game later on, but for now, sorry, y'all failed me. Anywho,
Yeah.
speaking of games, I would like to present something to y'all. What do y'all think about rights in video games being removed, or rights being stripped for certain IPs and stuff like that? Just in case y'all don't know what I'm talking about, say for example, right? Forza Motorsport 7 is the Xbox what's called exclusive racing game that they have. PlayStation has their Gran Turismo. So in order to make these racing games and to borrow brands of cars, right, and to borrow names of vehicles, they specifically are. I would assume that there's a law that requires you to get permission, but I would assume it's just to avoid lawsuit that people just end up having to pay contracts to be able to pay. Say, for example, if I'm Xbox and I'm funding the game, I have to go to Mercedes or BMW or Audi or Ford or Chevrolet, and I have to go to them and I have to pay them a certain amount of money so I could use their brand, the name of their cars, and the models of their cars to put them in my game. But I have a 4 year restriction that I have paid. Why? Because in 4 years we're gonna have Forza Motorsport 8, No one's gonna want 7 because 8's gonna be out. So Forza Motorsport 7, I think, is gonna get removed off the Xbox Marketplace sometime in September, which means that that game will forever be lost unless you have a disc or if you bought the digital copy before it gets taken off. It's the only reason why I bought it, and they had a sale. So that 4-year contract is ending in a couple of weeks, which means that a whole game just got removed off the marketplace. Another example of this is Dead by Daylight. They've had this DLC, I believe, for like 2 or 3 years. It's the Demogorgon and the two the counselors, the survivors from that Netflix show, The Stranger Things. It's two people from that, but it was a collaboration with Netflix. So obviously, Dead by Daylight had to have had some contract with Netflix to use the names, the property, and the models, right? But now that license is ending, which means that if you don't have the DLC, it's going to be gone forever and you'll no longer be able to buy it. So what do y'all think about 10 years ago when you bought a game, everything that came on it was there. Like everything was complete. You never had to worry about games being taken away. But now we live in an age where digital and updates and hot fixes and all this other horseshit exists where if there was something there, it can instantly be removed. And it doesn't even matter if you've owned the game for some time because we've seen examples like GTA 4 where the game has been out since what, 2008. GTA 4 in 2008 was released, and again, that game comes with music that has to be licensed by the music industry, certain different producers. There's Warner Brothers, there's MGM, there's Sony Music, all this other stuff, right? So when GTA 4 got re-released on the backwards compatible program on Xbox, I would say a good 10% of the music was stripped from it because the rights had been lost over time. So now you have music that's missing in the game. Even if you've owned the game prior to that, you've lost something in it. So what do y'all think about these games nowadays where something just goes missing, and if you paid for it?
I think it's sad.
Money.
But to be honest, I don't know how those contracts work and stuff, so I'm sure it's a huge deal, like to the companies themselves, but it is quite tragic. Because I felt like it could be something that was only like specific to the games instead of like a time. Like instead of 4 years, you can have it for like it'd be for the just for that game.
Yeah.
I just
I
think
don't
we're
know.
entering like a time where like games just get lost, you know? Like we're losing names, we're losing DLCs. I would think about that from now. What's it called? Later on, if Dead by Daylight's still a game that you play 10 years from now, God knows if anyone will be playing it. Assume people still play it. Hey, you remember that Demogorgon DLC? How do you have that? Oh, I bought it 10 years ago.
Well,
Oh, well, I'll go fuck myself, right?
I mean,
Oh,
to be
I
fair,
like Scarface.
I can still buy some of the characters with the in-game currency that they have. So like even if
Uh-huh.
like I can't buy the DLC directly, I can still purchase the characters.
Oh, you won't be able to. They'll be stripped from the shop.
Well, no. Like in game, the characters are still there, so I can still purchase them through the currency that they have in the game.
Like, are you talking about the Demogorgon ones and whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but the thing is that they're going to be removing it sometime in September as well. So people that get new to the game or whatever, say for example, you have like yourself. Say for example, you don't own Demogorgon. If it becomes October and it's already been removed, you won't be able to buy it from the shop. So the characters will be there. You'll be able to compete with people that have these characters, but you'll never be able to play as them.
Well, I don't know about it right now, but I'll definitely let you know in September if that becomes a thing, or October, or whenever. But I'm pretty sure I'd still be able to buy it in game, not through the
No,
actual DLC.
that's why they said if you want it, make sure you buy it now because afterwards it's gonna get removed from the shop and the game.
Oh, from the game. That I didn't know.
Yeah, just if you bought it before the contract suspends, then you'll be able to keep it because you bought the
Shit.
license. When you buy a DLC, you buy a license and you buy whatever the fuck that comes with it, right? Your rights to it. So there's that. But once it gets removed, you're done. It's gone.
Mm. I feel like people would just sell that
Yeah.
their game for like a bigger profit because it has that exclusive character. Like in
Imagine that.
Jason, like Friday the
Yeah,
13th,
the
Friday the
Jason.
13th with the Savini Jason.
Yeah, but the thing is that that wasn't even like a rights issue. That was just fucking that is the definition of rare and just collectability. That is something fucking else. I remember I contemplated kickstarting the game when it first was on Kickstarter, Friday the 13th, and just for donating $5, you got the Savini Jason. and they would send you a physical code, or I mean a digital code, excuse me. They would send you a digital code to your email that you used on your Kickstarter, right? So when the game released, you could use that code. Before you knew it, people were already using the Savini Jasons, and turns out that not a lot of people had actually kickstarted it. It was actually a large amount of people that had invested a large amount of money, but compared to the actual population of the game, in contrast to the people that donated, they were a very small portion. So people immediately realized this and instead decided not to use their codes, and they would flip these codes. It turned from a $5 investment to $500. Some people were selling their codes for thousands on eBay, and people were buying this shit, dude. It got so bad that people would actually redeem them on their accounts, and they would redeem them on a Smurf account intentionally, so that on eBay, say for example, I could pay some guy $5 and he'll give me the email and the password for the account, and then I could use it on my Xbox and do a license transfer, and I could use Savini Jason. It wasn't mine, but I can now use it. There's a whole market made out of stuff like this.
Yeah, so I feel like just with them leaving the characters in Dead by Daylight, if they do that, uh, it would be the same fucking deal. People would like, cause that show will always fucking have people like new people watching, fucking new fans, cause it's still going. That show's still going on. So like, they're not gonna know about
Wait,
what's
what
happening
show?
right now with that game, Stranger Things.
Oh, it's already gonna end.
Yeah, I know, but it's been going on for a while. Like it's already a big enough show to the point where it's already having like a ton of fans. Those fans don't. A lot of them pretty much don't know about Dead by Daylight, and if they pick it up, they're gonna like figure out, or they're gonna find out that some people have those skins, and they're gonna want them. And if they're collectors, they'll pay money for that shit. Anything,
Mm,
anything like that gets removed from a game can become a fucking like a collector item at that point, even if it's available for everybody to pick up like right now.
yeah.
It's kind of trash, but I mean, I make money somehow, I guess.
I just think despite what's it called? Phil Spencer, right? The guy that runs Xbox at the moment, the head of Xbox. He had stated that he wanted to make a promise to keep games on the market to make sure DLCs are never gone because he felt that the gaming industry was going in a path where games and DLC and content would just go missing, and it just felt like it was like a forgotten era where just stuff just goes missing and you never even knew you realized it. And soon after that, Forza Motorsport 7 had announced, hey, we're going to be taking it off the stores. It's like, whoa, that's one whole ass game. That was the game y'all used to promote the Xbox One X, your whole ass quote unquote next gen console. At the time, Xbox One S was still a thing, so you want to consider it next gen. But you used that game as such a huge stepping stone to promote 4K 60 FPS HDR. You know, it was the first console to be able to do it, and sooner or later, the PS4 Pro came out to be able to do the same thing. But y'all took advantage of this game to be able to promote it, and then all of a sudden it goes missing in the blink of an eye. I know Microsoft has got some big daddy fucking money, you know. Like I know y'all can buy a lifetime contract. I know y'all can do it, but obviously money has to be the issue. Where Microsoft knows they're gonna make a Forza Motorsport 8, and it's kind of like Call of Duty, where well, if I bought this one, you know, I'm gonna buy the next one. So at that point, they just cut Forza Motorsport 7 off. They buy a 4-year contract instead of a lifetime one, and they just make the next fucking game. It's probably even cheaper, as a matter of fact. I would assume that's what it is.
People just, I don't know. People are just very stingy with money nowadays.
I don't think it's stingy.
Well,
People up the prices of anything that are going for that are trending, I guess. Kind of insane though, because you'll never know about it until it's blown up.
what do y'all think about?
Yeah.
One of y'all had brought us something about going back in time.
Oh,
Yeah, bro.
yeah. What's it called? If you can go back in time with the knowledge you do. All right. How does it? If you
said-
can go back in time with the knowledge you have right now, would you?
By knowledge,
then
you mean like
Aaron-
all your memories or just your
Like
mentality?
like your mentality, nah, and your memories, like shit to
and your
avoid and
memories.
But,
Shit, bro,
like-
I'd avoid a lot of things and people, dude.
A lot of people thinks, but I personally, I don't think I'd like try to make a fortune. Like, I don't think I'd invest in Bitcoin or anything like that. I feel like that'd be wrong, morally wrong.
morally,
Yeah.
But why,
Just
Nick? It's
avoid-
millions of dollars you can make.
Nick, you can have
You can make
literally become
jobs.
a bajillionaire, dog.
Yeah, $1 billion, sure. I don't know.
I would
It
just
just doesn't seem right to me personally.
avoid
To
the
be
people
honest,
who
I'd buy like a bunch
fuck
of
you over.
collectibles and then hide them.
What the fuck?
Not joking. Now, if you can't, Aaron had said you can't like invest into shit. Like it just with your personal life. So
Can't remember
like,
lottery numbers. You can't remember any investing. You can't remember any stocks booming. You can't remember ticks. You can't. None of that. It's literally
Oh,
just
yeah.
your mindset, and you're going back however far in time. But you're thinking the way you do right now. Do you do it? And if you do you change?
I would. I think I'd be a better person. Because I was kind of an asshole back in 5th grade, so I think I
yeah, I have
definitely
experience.
would. Yeah,
I know.
sorry.
But you're not sorry. You're just sorry you got caught, head ass.
Now I would avoid the people who fuck me over
Hmm.
easily.
I would
That's-
avoid friends.
What did
I'll
my mom
avoid
do to
that
you,
shit.
homie?
I
I would avoid
actions, bro.
people I
Fuck
had
that.
met. Like
Actually,
basically
bro,
sixth
fuck
grade,
everybody
all
who
those
messes
people
up.
gone. You know, shit like that.
The what?
Junior year and senior year, all the bitches.
To be fair, those were all life experiences, though. You know, like things to look out
Yeah.
for
Sadly.
now moving forward.
But like, if we can go back then,
Yeah, I mean, you'd already
fuck
have
them.
those. You'd already have those kind of fuck. What's the word? Those life
Bro,
experiences.
but then it would suck, man. It felt like going from for 10
Hatred.
years. It felt like it took forever. And I feel like the time between 18 to 21, like where we're at right now, has been so much quicker than like 13 to 18. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
because you're
'cause
so
we're-
active,
Yeah.
and you have
Yeah,
so many
we're
more
not in school
responsibilities and things to
anymore.
think of.
We're not in high school anymore. Like that was like an 8 to 4 job. Basically, like you fucking go up and it would take super long.
Talking about you're at school for 8 hours a day. So, like what,
I
7 to
know,
4?
bro. And then nowadays in
Like-
college, it's fucking like you're there maybe like max 3 hours, and you can just
I
do
have a
whatever the fuck you want
class-
and leave.
I have a class
Most
from
people
1 to
on their
5,
flip phone.
and I just can't imagine how long it would. Like, I know it's like 4 hours, but like, fuck, man. I finish my work quickly, so I don't want to be there just playing Clash of Clans, you know, for 4 hours and shit.
Can you imagine?
Clan games, bro.
Gotta get them points.
I'm gonna get on that grind. No, yeah,
I
but
really, I would,
I think
really wouldn't be able to know.
Hello.
What's up?
no, I think. Well, your mic or what?
Yeah, my controller died.
Hijo de su. Nah, I think
my
all of
mic-
us would be fucking happier if we just go back in time and just avoid the people who fucked us over.
I think everyone would be
I-
happy if they can go back in time with their like mentality. Cause,
Yeah, but no, just us four, only us four.
I,
'cause
I don't,
you'd
I
feel
don't think.
weird compared to the other people.
What?
You'd be like a lot
course,
smarter.
bro.
Like in 5th grade, you'd have the memory of you like in fucking high school, so everything would be easy as fuck.
Exactly.
Or
And
it'd
then you
be
get to high
harder,
school and you're still fucking.
because you can't.
Yeah, then you
Do
get to high school
easier
and you're
work.
dumb fuck.
I'd go to fucking. I'd tell myself to work harder in school.
Yeah,
So I wouldn't be in the situation that I am now. You know.
I think I would.
I
Too.
would also.
I
Yeah.
don't
I'd be like,
believe you though, Dimitri.
I would tell
Yeah.
myself, and then I fucking just give up. Like, right away, because it's too hard.
Yeah, I would go back and tell myself to stop doing crack. No, I'm just kidding. No, but actually, like, I really don't know what the fuck. Like, I would tell myself, like, it's because I don't think I was bad. Like when I was younger. If anything, I feel like I was better when I was younger than I am now. I feel like I like fucking gave in to like temptations and stuff like that. But I mean, I don't think I was ever like done wrong. And even if people did do me wrong, like I just kind of got over it. Like it never really affected me. My upbringing wasn't like it wasn't like oh fuck me, you know, like I want to die type of situations, but like, you know, it wasn't easy either, but like at the same time, like I feel like those kinds of experiences are what make us what we are now.
For sure.
But same time, would you like to go back and change certain things about your life? Yeah, sure, who doesn't, right? But I wonder if you messing with those things in the past, does that change who you are at present time before you went back in the past?
For sure.
Well,
You're a
for me,
completely
I
different
just said
person.
I'd avoid an entire year of friends. So I wonder, me avoiding those people led me back to Nicholas, you know?
Hmm.
And I wonder how it'd be. Like, would I be, I don't know, different or some shit?
I think.
Do you think you'd be the same person if you just avoided those people and you just found Nick earlier? Wouldn't you
Mm,
just be how you are now, but
If
just
I, if it's
sooner?
not, if I found Nick earlier, it's like, because those people, like, I was a lot different, you know? Those people I liked going outside more. Not really, hold on. I liked being out more, if that makes sense. I like skating, I like going to the mall, doing all that shit, and wearing these, like, fucking stupid ass clothes. And they wanted to be in a gang. I remember that specifically, and that's when I stopped hanging out with
Sheesh.
them. Yeah, that's when I stopped hanging out. But
Taylor gang.
they're in
Uh,
gang.
I think it
I
would
don't know.
definitely. I think it would definitely make you a different person. Cause like to some people, it would get to your head. Cause like, let's say you go back to fifth grade exactly, and then like you look at everyone else, and you're like taking this test, and you're like, God damn, y'all are fucking retards. Like, how'd you get this wrong? Like, and like you just feel like get that like with some people you'll get that confidence, like just like I'm better than everyone else because of
Some people
the
gain
memory that I
confidence
Because
had.
because
you
some people
But I
are.
am
gain
better than
ego.
everybody
And
else.
like an ego, there you go.
Exactly.
Like some people, for some people, it will definitely change them. I don't think it would change me because I don't think I really care.
I
About
don't
any
think
of
I
that.
carry ego, but I could carry my own confidence. I know what you mean.
Yeah. I'd have a blast.
Yeah, I think
I'd be
Dimitri
fucking
would
taking advantage
definitely
of
get an
everyone,
ego,
bro.
I
dude.
dude,
Dimitri for
nah.
sure.
If I could go back and avoid certain people, my fucking dude, I would have had a much better senior year to be honest. Like, dude, come on.
No, no, but
I fuck.
Dimitri, do you think you would like be honest? Do you think you'd get an ego if you went back to fifth
I
grade
think
and you
you
were a
would.
genius? I think you would
I feel
too,
like look at
dude.
that dumb hat.
Dimitri'd be a bully, 100%.
I
Dude,
wouldn't be a
I would
bully.
make people eat
I
dirt,
would do it
bruh, and I
instead.
would
bro,
get
I
paid.
became a bully, man. I became a bully because of those guys.
Shame on you, Gabe. Shame on you.
Yeah, I remember this one guy. He fucking told me about the Avengers movie, like, cause he saw it in Mexico, and Mexico came out like 2 weeks before or some shit. And he was like, yeah, Iron Man went up to this like portal shit, and he almost died or something like that. And I was like, oh, that's whatever. Turns out that's what happened, bro. It's crazy.
Oh, you got bullied? No.
Not that. I mean, but like, I got spoiled by the movie, so I would avoid that conversation.
Oh, bro, fuck
But
that. A conversation I wish I could avoid, which is some fucking similar, is when Charlie spoiled the whole fucking Last Jedi for me, dude.
oh, that's true. Yeah,
It's
Luke
like, oh,
Skywalker just
oh
died.
yeah, Luke Skywalker, like he just dies in it.
Oh,
And I was like,
hey,
bro,
hold on, hold on, hold on,
what?
hold on. Spoiler that Luke Skywalker dies in the Last Jedi, just in
Dude, this
case,
is
you know.
fucking. This has been out for so long. Fuck everybody who hasn't watched it.
What the hell? The movie was still out in theaters, and I really wanted to watch the movie, but I could never find the time.
The
My
movie
mom
was
was
out.
super
The
busy,
movie
and
was
I
out
was
for
always
like
busy.
a day or two. Also, when Charlie had told you.
Yeah, like, oh yeah, Luke Skywalker, he died. I was like, bruh, I was like that. You don't just say that. That's exactly like saying like I don't know, like in the new Transformers movies. Oh yeah, Optimus just dies, or in the new MCU, right? Let's say for example, 2 years from now, the new Avengers 3 fucking comes out. Yeah, fucking Tom Holland Spider-Man, he just gets fucking impaled through the chest by fucking time traveling King. Like what? You don't just say that. Like you don't say shit like that. Like that's years in the making, bruh. Like Star Wars is my fucking life when it comes to entertainment, dude. Like you don't say shit like that. And then like right after that conversation, I there was a friend that I hadn't spoken to in like 3 years. Like he had gone to a different school, and then I had just seen him. I was like, yeah, yo, like what's up, man? He's like, oh no, man, because I remember he used to be super huge Star Wars fan. Like he was into the Clone Wars before the Clone Wars was even cool. And I was like, hey, so like how things been, whatever the fuck. And then we get of course to Star Wars: The Last Jedi, and I was like, oh yeah, don't even fucking talk to me about it. I already got it spoiled by fucking Charlie over here. He already told me Luke Skywalker dies. He's like, oh yeah, did you also know that Snoke also gets himself fucking cut in half? I was like, what the fuck, dude? Laters, dude. I'll see you fucking never.
Dude, I didn't know that.
Yeah, like, fuck y'all. I hope all y'all have a nice Christmas.
That's fucked up.
Suck a wee wee,
Wow.
dude.
I didn't actually did that. I know he was that kind of guy.
Maybe I should watch
Spoil the
Star
movie.
Wars. I haven't seen any of those movies.
You've
Oh,
never
sorry,
seen
Nick.
Star Wars?
I think I've seen like one or two movies, but I don't remember anything about them.
Jesus.
No,
Wait,
I
Nick,
haven't.
what?
Yeah, I don't think I've seen
Huh.
them fully either.
What?
About
Never,
Star
bitch.
Wars.
You have to have seen Star Wars at least once, bro.
I said I've seen like two movies, but I don't remember anything about them.
Oh, he definitely saw. I remember he saw. No, I was gonna say he lost episode 9 with us, but
No, I wasn't there.
dude, why did you have to go to the military?
I know, right? Fuck with that. Wait, never mind. No.
Got your ass.
Nick has like a red
Got
glow aiming right at his head.
your
We're talking about military is great, gives you plenty of opportunities.
ass. Land of the
Can you
free.
say that closer to the mic, sir? Civilian.
I heard. You just see a laser pointed at your chest right now. Holy shit. Nah, but we would all just be gods in like elementary and middle school. We knew what we knew now.
Dude, I'd go back and fucking learn the recipes to all the food back in the day.
I learned Spanish.
What?
You learned Spanish?
I would learn Spanish, bro. Yeah, it's just annoying. now.
Bro.
You should also tell yourself to be a hard worker.
Nah, I think me now can still go by without doing that shit.
Especially back in the day, making me more lazy. You wouldn't have to study or nothing. You know everything.
Exactly. I think it'd be worse
That's what I'm
for
saying.
me. Hey, but fuck it, you know what I'm saying?
Like doing the chores around the house is what essentially made you as active as you are today. Your mom tells you to do the dishes. Mom, you do the dishes. Oh.
Okay.
Or like
Yeah.
avoiding depression or some shit. I don't know.
Oh.
Avoiding depression, yo, for real. Fuck that bitch.
Honestly. I can
Nah.
say it. Well, I can't say it, but like
Go for Gabriel.
this
Instead of start us
last
off.
these last 2 months have been pretty hard.
How do you say that? Yeah?
My name's
Because-
Gabriel.
My name's Hi, I'm Gabriel. I'm depressed.
They've been pretty hard. Hi,
Hi,
Gabriel.
Gabriel.
Hi guys. No, but like real talk, like yeah, my fucking girlfriend and I broke up and shit, and like
Tell me about it, Way.
tell you about it, all right. To be honest, like I was fucking sad. I was like I felt like I was a bitch, man. I was crying and shit, which is understandable, right?
I felt like I was
But,
a
like,
bitch.
Yeah, like I don't like crying. Be like the longest I had gone without crying was like 4 or 5 years, right? And that happened, and then I was like crying like probably every hour or some shit, cause like she was such a big thing in my life. Even though like she became a routine and all that, and to be with, and so it's her to be just gone one day. It just fucking sucks. Like it was just I don't know what to do. Like even right now, I still don't know what to do. Like there's a lot of moments where I'm just fucking I don't know. My best friend at work just fucking quit today, and I wanted to quit work because it just fucking it sucked. Like the people there are leaving, and these new faces come in and all that shit, and it's like I don't
Fucking quitters.
wanna-
They're fucking quitters.
yeah. I mean they're fucking Americans quit all the time, man. It's fucking
They're fucking quitters, bro.
no, but like
Swear to God.
But I don't know. I miss having that person to like just to talk to. That makes sense.
Okay, no, ya fuera.
Yeah, I know, bro. I have my fucking captain to talk to, but like, yeah, I'm fucking. It sucks saying that I'm depressed. Like, it comes and goes. Like right now, a lot of shit's going on in my life that fucking sucks. You know, at home, everybody's either sick, and I can't really go home, and I can't see anything. And if my grandma goes away, but that's a later's in the chat because there's no way I can see her because of COVID, and that sucks. So having that one person I could rely on to help me through this wasn't there. She's not there anymore, and it sucks. It's such a what's it called? You know, she was just very important, and I don't know. Just
But tell me
it just
something.
sucks.
Like
Yeah.
you like the thinking about in the future when things do get even harder, or if things even get better for a fact, right? On the bright side, do you think that the way that you during these hard times, it makes you love even more the like how do I put it? I feel like I'm wording it wrong. Uh, right now you're in a hard place. But when things get harder, you get used to them having already been hard. But if things get even better, then it feels so blissful, you know? Like you were such in a bad place and these high highs just feel even higher than they should be because you should have already been in these times of, I guess, regress, regret, deceit, and I guess the negative thoughts, right? Do you not actually I don't want to say enjoy because no one enjoys being down, right? But you wouldn't
Would I rather have
look
it be
back and say,
like this than if it's worse in the future?
no, no, no. Like,
Do you
do
take
you think
advantage
that
of the
this
good
is
times?
absolute?
Is that
Yeah.
what you're trying to
Does
say?
it make you take
Do I
advantage
take?
of the good times? Does it actually make you think that yes, being down like this is necessary for me to actually enjoy life as it is?
To be honest, yeah. Like I've been listening to I've been like listening more into my music or whatever. And there's this handful of songs that I keep going back to, and it talks about like the memories and shit like that I'd had and how things were a lot better. And it's like fuck yeah. Like I that's why that I brought up that conversation of if I could go back and change something because I want to relive those moments. I was always happy. My parents always told me that I looked happier. My friends always told me I looked happier, and to have that taken away out of nowhere, fucking, it's just it sucks because I wasn't expecting it to happen. The girl was telling me that she wanted to marry me, and the next day she wants to break up with me. And I don't know if I still don't know if I did something. She told me I never did anything, but it's like it fucking sucks. And I don't know. Like I just say a lot of I don't know, but I miss the times where I was happy and with her and all that. Like even right now, like I want to go back home, but I can't because of school, or also right now because in my household right now they have COVID, and I'm not gonna go and catch that shit because that's a case right there. But like I miss hanging out with you guys in person. And over here, I've just been by myself with my cat. And now that my best friend just quit her job, it's just like, what else? You know, I got to make friends with the other people there that I am friends with them, but they want to leave too. And I don't want it just like keeps shit gets keep taken away and taken away and taken away. And there's been moments
Just
of
don't like
time
that
where
change.
I wish it was just the same. I like my routine that I had back in the day. That's just been gone.
That's just, I guess it's just you have to learn. It's like shit's gonna change, bro. Like it's inevitable as fuck. Like it's just gonna change. You just have to trust in yourself that you'll be able to fucking handle the change. That's what it like really comes down to be honest. Like you have to like make sure that you yourself will be okay in the end, no matter what the fuck happens.
And this is
'Cause,
like
like, let's be real here. Like we don't need we us humans we always want that like other person, but like we don't need it. We don't need to be like I guess in
and
tune with
that's why
someone to be
like
happy.
there's times where I'm like, man, I'm fucking doing awesome. Like I don't need her. Like, whatever, like I bet you she's doing pretty shit or some shit like that. But then I'm like, nah, never mind. Like I wish I had her at this moment I um where I get my keys locked out of my car and I was just so fucking angry I wanted to punch a window. I mean, shit, like it was so bad, and I fucking hate saying this that I even thought like, dude, I don't even want to be around anymore. Like at this moment right now, I don't care if I fucking die or live. And it's crazy to say, but it just like I have nothing to look forward to. Right? I fucking hate school right now. It's a thing that's a hindrance. I don't know, like I don't want to do it, but it's like I have to do it so I can continue on, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to take the L's
And
open now so that it feels better in
exactly,
the end.
so it feels better in the future and shit. And the people around me, it just I don't know, like over here, just fucking I don't enjoy being around my coworkers or shit like that. Like I do, and then I don't want to talk to anybody. I just get annoyed. And like I was like, man, like I was like, fuck, man, I wish I could just have enough money, get a fucking tiny home, and just go in the middle of nowhere and just fucking disappear from everybody. Like that
Like
idea has
Mario.
come to my head. Yeah, exactly. Like my friend Mario, who just disappeared, and I still wonder where he's at to this day.
Mario.
It's been 2 years. I've been wondering where that guy's been.
Dude, I had completely forgotten about him until you brought him up.
You see, that's why, and it's just like, and they always say it's weird. I don't know. I just like I remember I had a like anxiety attack and shit about dying. If that makes sense. Like everything that I do right now won't matter in about fucking 100 years. If that makes sense. And I was like, what's the fucking point of like continuing on anything? If whatever I fucking invest into won't matter. The people, my great great grandkids or whatever, won't fucking remember who I was. I don't even remember who my great great grandpa was. All I know is that he made this fucking dope ass table that I got in my kitchen. You see, but I don't even know the guy's name.
Hey,
So
well, at
like,
least you know he did
Probably
something.
Gabriel.
he did
Let's
something.
be honest
Exactly.
here. It's probably Gabriel.
That's like Gabriel. I'm trying to make a legacy of Gabriel's, but whatever. I'm trying to get to Gabriel 1000, man.
Gabriel 1000.
Fuck
Jeez,
yeah.
Holy
You should
God.
reach
Our
Three
3,000.
gone.
You need to reach 3,000, bruh. Have
So
you
I
seen
can-
Andre? Bro, what the
What?
fuck, man? Have you seen Andre? Andre 3000?
Oh my God.
But whatever. Going back, like I don't know. At this moment, I don't care if I'm alive or I'm dead. I'm not suicidal. I just don't give a shit anymore. Like more than I
Yeah,
did.
yeah. I think it's just natural just to end up in a mindset like that. We're not suicidal, but I just think that you come to a realization where it's just kind of like, because I understand what you mean, because I've said this before, but it's like, why do we progress as much as we do, or why do we work as hard as we do, when in the end nothing really even fucking matters? And this mindset goes as far back as medieval times, because even there's manuscripts that talk about this exact same ideology, but
don't think
people
that's
like
it.
that. Yeah, you might not think like that, but if anything, I envy you for thinking the complete opposite, where instead, I guess, Alex, you want to do
Like,
the best you possibly can so that your life is as enjoyable. But we are all gonna die. If you enjoy your life to the full extent, you're gonna end up dying in your sleep, or who even knows? You die in a car crash and it's a horrible death. It's just like, why am I working so hard when
but
eventually my
why
life can just be
think
taken away
about
like
that
anything?
shit the whole time? Like, who gives a shit what happens 300 years from now, bro? Like, it doesn't matter if they don't remember you. It's just like, I don't give a shit if they don't remember me. Like,
Okay,
whatever.
let's assume you don't even care what people have thought of you from the future on out, but what am I doing now that is going to, get anything out of myself for when I'm dead, or for the inevitable cause that
But why
something
do you
bad
care about
happens
that?
to me? Because I don't want to be fucking pushed into a fryer, die in a car crash with my head being
Why do
broken in three different
why do you care
places.
about like what happens after? Like,
What if I get
I
into a
guess
terrible
it's
situation where I get paralyzed? It's like, dude, I
oh
tried to do the
well.
best I could in my life, and I ended up paralyzed. Like, what the fuck? What did I do to deserve
Well, who
this?
thinks about oh I'm gonna get paralyzed? No one thinks
That's the
that
thing
way.
as well. Like no, like I do agree with him. Like him saying like you could be a good person and then, like shit gets taken away. Like I thought I was doing good and everything, and then now everything's fucking terrible. And
Think
it's like
like
the
that,
second.
you only go down and down. It only gets worse if you think like the
I
It,
try
not
not to, bro.
necessarily, because it just ends up steady. I mean, I've been steady. I haven't gone any much like lower than I have. It's just you enter this existential place. And I wanted to study psychology when I went into college. At first, I wanted to do criminal justice, and then I was like, tweedling around psychology. And I started looking into textbooks, and I started looking into articles and research papers and stuff like that. And by the end of it, I realized that I understand how a person is, how a person reacts, and how a person is going to treat someone just by starting a conversation, simply how they even hold their hand out to say hi to me, or lack thereof if they even do say hi or not. Like, I have learned to decipher a person, and it's not hard, and you don't need a degree to do it. You can do it by reading enough of these psychology, bullshit that you can find out there. The internet's a wonderful place, trust me. And so when you look at this
I
stuff,
know that.
it's like what the fuck, like it reduces your life to very simple like summaries of people. Like I talk to someone and I'm like, I already know how this person is. I already know what they do. I already know what their style is. I know exactly how they're gonna act if I do something like this, and that. And so I don't even play my life out the way I want to do it. Instead, I kind of just play it out how it doesn't affect others, which I know people do that too, but like I'm just saying as like a case on my basis. So I didn't even want to do psychology, and in the end of it, I got fucked over because now I think so weirdly. It's like I don't know, like it's the complete opposite of like selfishness. It's kind of like selfless, but I try to focus on my own, but I can't I don't allow myself to. It's painful. It fucking sucks. And so I feel like I'm in this existential plane of existence where it's just like think about what you're doing now, but in the end, in the grand scheme of things, what have you done as a flawed human being? How have you helped this ecosystem we call Earth? What have you done to put your name out there? What have you done to better yourself instead of doing stuff like playing games, filming this podcast? You could have done something else, you know? It's just stuff like that that you can think of. It's like, am I just really wasting my time just living my life? When people tell you
No.
you can be what you want to be in the future, is that really true? Money is really a big issue. Teachers always told me I could be whatever I wanted, and then I wanted to be a doctor, and then I found out, no, you can't afford that. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's like
My
no,
little
I don't think you can be whatever you want.
yeah, like
You're
keep going.
like you're born into a path. So you there's two different ways of thinking the end of your life can be. It's either you form it or you're destined for something. In my opinion, I feel like at this point you're destined for something. I think I'm destined for greatness, but it's a really fucking hard time getting there, and it's a hard time trying to find out what it is.
Make
Like
good tacos.
I've told myself in my mind, I'm like, I think by the end of my life, my fucking face is gonna be on a poster for something. It could be a fucking revolution. It could be for a war crime. I don't know what it is, but my face is gonna be on. It's gonna be for something. Like I know my time is valued elsewhere and for something, and I know believing like that will eventually get me to it. I mean, fuck. I broke down in front of my mom, wanting to tell her like, hey, I feel like I'm stuck for the rest of my life. My mom told me she's like, if you honestly feel like you're not like if you're even crying about feeling like you're stuck, you're not going to force yourself to be stuck in this position. You're going to move on from it. And I thought to myself, I was like, that's kind of true. If I want it so badly, I'm not going to force myself to stick by something I'm not going to fucking enjoy. So eventually I'm going to move on from something and I'm going to find out exactly what I want to do. But at the moment right now as we speak, I'm still in a bit of a weird gray area where it's kind of like I know what I want to do, but at the same time, do I risk it? Do I know what I want to do? At the
But
same
being
time,
in
am I
college
happy?
is.
But that's the thing. You look at other people and they're not like that. Like, and I envy that. It's a state of mind that I used to be in. I used to be at my peak 3 years ago. I was extremely active. I was very hardworking. Like I kind of like taking a decline. I blame a little bit on COVID, and I don't want to blame all of it because at that point I just feel like I'm not judging myself for any actions that I do. So I want to feel like I'm at least guilty for something.
I was gonna say that like being what you want, but knowing having like there's no money in it. It's like my little brother. Like he wanted to be a photographer, but there's absolutely no fucking money into it. Like my dad was like, "Oh, you can do it, but it's like you're gonna have to do something else because you're not gonna get any
That,
money.
that
Just stop
too.
doing it.
That's depressing.
It fucking sucks." And like for me, like I wanted to make video games and do all that shit, but like they don't make that much money, and I had to go into I'm doing architecture right now, but at the same time it's like I've had this mindset of being an architect for like 4 years now, and I'm already like, dude, I want to do something else because it's fucking it's just like I like it, but I'm just like I don't know if I want to do this all the time.
Like college really tested your patience, didn't it?
I did. Like I've
Yeah,
been
same.
I fucking like it sucks,
I,
and it's just like it's leading back to like the depression because like I wanted to be an architect and all that shit, and then right now I'm like, fuck, I really don't know. I didn't want to go to school, because of it.
I mean, it always
It got
works out in the end. I mean, did you always expect yourself to be in the position you are? Like if you look 5 years from now, did you expect to be in this position?
to be honest, my dad always reminds me of how lucky I am because I'm a 21-year-old in their own apartment, and other
Yeah,
people like don't have that luxury.
you got privacy and shit. Oh yeah.
Exactly. So like I'm lucky in that part, but at the same time, it's like I'm so far away from my loved ones and shit. Like it just sucks.
But it's
And,
not like
and
that's
when I
not. It's not permanent, bro. Like
I know it's not permanent, but at the same time, I kind of want it to be permanent because I want to move somewhere where there's more money involved. But at the same time, it's like it's being farther away from my loved ones. And every time, like at this moment, it's been shit. It's been sucking. I reach out to people and I get either they just don't respond and shit. And it's like whatever. Like I haven't spoke like with my dad. The guy never talks to me, and my little brother he doesn't talk to me. My sister never talks to me. Some of my best friends don't talk to me. So it's just like I'll always send them a message and shit, and it gets nothing back. and
Shit.
it just fucking it sucks. Like, it's I it
That's
just
also
sucks.
why. That's also why being social is good. Like you don't want to just have the same people in your life forever, bro. Like you're always gonna be lonely, feeling like that if you ever move away. That's why being social, like at a new place, new area, is always good. Because you're not the only one who feels like that. Like everybody moves, everybody does their own thing, everybody goes somewhere else. Like it's a new experience in
It's
life
COVID
every
has
time
made
you
shit
move,
harder to
bruh.
meet new people though.
Yeah, it's just like this is like the one bump in the road that kind of no one expected, but
Exactly.
shit happens, bruh.
I think
But it just
But
go for it. Or
go.
it fascinates me the way you guys think. Cause for me personally, like I kind of just like go with the flow. Like nothing really like bothers
Same.
me, or I don't really worry about stuff. Like me moving away, like I haven't. Like I see my family maybe like 3 times a year, 4 times a year, and to me it's not really a bother. Like I haven't talked to my dad in like a month, and that doesn't really bother me either. Like I don't know. Even like I don't worry about what people think about me. I don't worry about nothing. I've never been depressed before
yeah.
because none of that shit like gets to me. So
I
like
used to be like that.
the way you guys talk like it like about like
Yeah,
past
I used to
experiences
be
and
like that
stuff, it
too.
Exactly. I was like
it
that.
kind of amazes me.
I was like that. I shit you not, like 5 months ago. Like I didn't care. I was just going with everything, and people were envied how I was and all that. Like I could just, I would be like just so chill. Like you can tell me anything, and I don't know. Like people would be going through a hard time, and I'd be respond just fucking go with the flow. But now that I'm in this situation, it just fucking sucks, and it's something I thought I could prepare for, and I didn't.
You can never prepare for that stuff, but that's just like this is the mentality that you know you can get back, like, cause that's what I'm doing right now. Also, like I'm already developing that mentality of like, hey, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
whatever goes through, but like, who gives a fuck? Can't take everything. You
Isn't that
can't take
also
everything to
bad as
heart.
well?
It's yeah.
In a
I was gonna
way,
say that.
but
Because
In a
if you
way, it
just
is,
go
but
with the
also in another.
flow, I mean, holy shit! Like, if anyone ever accuses you of something, oh, pues I mean, it is what it is. Or
Not
if
in
you ever
that
get like
way.
charged for
Like,
some, like, I don't know,
obviously,
it's
like if
whoa,
someone
whoa,
accuses me of
whoa,
raping them,
whoa.
I'm not gonna be like, oh well, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean,
You know
Yeah,
what?
that's a
it's
little
Yeah,
obvious I'm not
extreme.
gonna fucking.
that. Okay, I wasn't saying an accusation of rape. Like, it
I'm
doesn't have to
saying
be to
about
that
like shit.
extent.
I'm saying the shit that Gabriel's going through, like feeling lonely, doing like stuff like
Yeah,
that.
that's what I was
Like
referring to
Gabriel and
also.
Nick are going through the kind of like Gabriel and Nick are going through similar situations where it's like being alone in a different city by yourself, but they're both handling it in very different ways. Nick has that
Because I
like
think
it
your
is what it is.
upbringing also has a lot to do with it. Your upbringing has a lot to do with it. I'm so glad that like my mom made me the social person that I am. I'm the first person to talk to a fucking stranger. They could be doing like 5 lines of coke, and I'll be telling them how their day was, or I'll be sharing an orange. Like I drink alcohol with a guy that when I was washing my truck over here on Shiloh. I'm over here washing it, and some guy comes up to me, and I start talking with him, and we're talking about our gold chains, and we're talking about like Bitcoin, and he gives me a bottle of alcohol. I didn't drink all of it. I just took like a sip from it. It was some bullshit, and we just keep talking whatever the fuck.
Some
But like
bullshit.
it goes to that extent. Like I mean, like I consider myself very social and very outgoing, but I know when to regress. Like I just know exactly when to just stop talking. I guess, even though like I'm just a fucking I can be a loudmouth sometimes, and I'm very critical, not judgmental, but critical, I guess. And so I become very picky, and unfortunately, that has led to me being a very precise person where I know exactly what I want, but trying to figure out exactly what I want does take time, I guess, if that makes any sense. Where like I'll do my research for something for the longest time possible to figure out exactly what it is because I want to be the person that has the least amount of regrets going into something. And so far, it's worked out. I mean, I hardly regret anything. I can't think of the last thing I regret. Oh, I'll tell you. The Metro Exodus Collector's Edition? That $300 I'll never get back.
You
That's
know
three
what?
hundred
I,
dollars
I
I'll never
have
get
something I
back.
regret. I fucking bought an Xbox Live controller or Xbox Live. Did I just really fucking say that? Jesus. I bought an Xbox controller custom and I waited a fucking month through it. And in that time, my girlfriend fucking left me and I was the only thing I was excited for was that fucking controller. And I was out of town and it showed up and someone stole it. And I wasted $90 on that shit.
You
You
didn't get
didn't
it
ask for
back.
a refund? Yeah.
I did. And they never called me. They never told me anything. They're like, "Oh, we're gonna take it up to the heads of Xbox and shit," and then nothing. Got nothing from them. I haven't.
Have you tried turning it back on and off?
That always helps.
Fucking
Hey, at
hate
least you
you.
got a controller.
Never
That's why you
did.
I
should
was
just
taking
bug
an
him
issue
about it,
with.
bro. Why you bug him about it? You don't stop until you get what you
Yeah.
want, basically.
And I got myself a brand new Xbox controller, the Series, the Elite controller, whatever the fuck,
Definitely
for
not the
free.
elite.
Just because the bumper
I
was
don't
like
know.
broken.
But
I don't know.
yeah, regressing back to the topic of depression, I feel like it is a necessity. I know people don't want to be in it, but I do think it is vital to forming a
Yeah.
character, and that
You gotta
character
have the
being
lows,
you.
have the highs, you know.
Exactly,
Yeah.
there you go.
For
You have to have
development,
those
bro.
lows to have those highs. You are your own character, your own main story for your character. Build it. You might just end up being that person that everyone hates, but that was up to your judgment. That was up to your creation, and I guess something had to have led you to there. Or if you're like me, I feel like you were destined to be at that some point, somewhere, for some reason, right? But at the same time, there's always the freedom to be able to do as much as you possibly can. Not what you want, but what you can. And with that, I feel like if you lose a loved one, it was necessary. There was no way that person was going to be able to live throughout your whole lifetime, unless of course they were younger. But that means you'd be gone theoretically before they do. So the sadness is averted in some places, but it is gained in other places. Relationships don't always last all the time, and either they do you wrong, but it doesn't necessarily make you capable to take revenge on them or to procrastinate off their name. It doesn't make you any much more legible to off them, off your case, even though they did you wrong, you know? Like, just because someone does you wrong doesn't mean you do them even wrong worse. Because I know I can be a very, what's it called? Like, I can be very violent with my thoughts, and I know out of anyone in the room, I can apply whatever the fuck I want, you know? Like, I got the thoughts in the process. I could do anything, you know? But I limit myself. At that point, I'm a fucking menace to society, but I'll hold myself accountable for something, right? But like I said, we all have our restrictions. We all have something that tells us not to do something. But I just want to say that depression is necessary. When breakups happen, just because someone does you wrong, I don't think you should do them wrong. Even if things did end off right, I think you should just live with what happened. I really, really hate, and I'm sorry if it fucking affects anyone, but if a relationship ends and y'all want to get back together, I feel like that is the worst thing ever because if y'all ended it in the first place, I think that should have been the end of it. It ended for a reason, so I feel like you're just trying to tape back together like a piggy bank that was already shattered. What's the point? The action has already been done. But normally as humans we always look back when things were complete, when there wasn't any work required. And I feel like that's what makes us so I don't know, like it gets us jiffy. But then you have people say for example like Nick how he says where he just goes with the flow. Alex says he goes with the flow, but at the same time, you go with the flow, you end up feeling like you don't really do much, and in turn, there's not much to stress about, which in turn makes y'all feel chill and just laid back, and that's cool and all, but I feel like there's no urgency to life. Like, I want to have some urgency to myself, something to get me going. You know, I want to be active. I want to do something. It doesn't necessarily have to be physical, but it can also be mentally or something like that. I like to keep my mind jogging on hypotheticals all the time. What would I do if I'm in this position? What would I do if I'm doing that? And I prepared myself for every fucking hypothetical, you know? And so I'm unpredictable with what I say and what I do, but I feel like that's the charm to it. And I feel like everyone should just find I guess their mojo. I don't know. I don't know a better word for it, but seemingly everything is necessary, and I feel like depression is a necessity.
Like
Yeah.
to be honest, it
I can see
is
what you're saying.
like cause so this is I would say my second time being depressed, and my first time being depressed, fucking I feel like I sound like an asshole or an idiot in saying that, but when it was my first time, it was like it was a hard time at home, and I feel like it changed my character. To be honest, I was a lot more not happier, but like had more emotions, if that made sense. And then I became just chill after it. And, like I just didn't give a shit about anything, and um, yeah, like I wouldn't care. I just wouldn't give a shit about what would happen or anything like that. And now I guess I grew into having more. I went rest back into having more emotions and shit. Shit sucks. I don't like being sad. I don't like being angry. I don't like being fucking like it just I don't know. I just rather go back to having like just being a husk or some shit.
I like I like emotion. I like it when I cry. Like when I cry, I actually feel like I'm living again. Like, I don't know if that's weird to say, but you know, If
I
I'll just
hate
look
it.
at something and it reminds me of something that I never had or something that I had so much of, but now it's gone from my life, having a cry about it or reminisce about the things that you forgot to take advantage of, or not realizing that in the past you were making memories but didn't even realize it, it makes you cry, or it makes you think so much that you beat yourself up over things that honestly, if you could even go back, you never even knew you'd have been able to do them in the first place. So like I'll break down and then just all of a sudden it's just kind of like, I don't know, you just need to get
For
back up from it.
for
Dwelling on
me,
the
like
past is the first way to get yourself hurt.
I have three specific moments where I've cried just incredibly hard, or four. And the first one was like I almost lost my house, right? Like my family and I were gonna be homeless, so I cried about that. The second one was my cat had ran away, and I didn't know if I was gonna see her again. Like I had bonded with this fucking pet, and she was gone, and it fucking sucked. And that was like the worst day of my life. And third time was a friend. She was going through something, and it sucked seeing her like that. And the fourth last time that I remember specifically crying is my breakup. And that's why I hate crying, because every time I cry, I'm remembered about those moments where I was at my lowest. I don't like being reminded of that.
It's probably because you just don't want to be crying for that specific reason. Like you're my polar opposite, where you don't like the instances where you cry so much so that you start to remind yourself about those kinds of feelings. Maybe you just need to let loose and just realize that it's just natural for you to have those instincts. I mean, they happen for a reason. Your body creates tears. I mean, it's it's bound to happen. So I feel maybe if you just let yourself loose, they don't affect you as much.
Probably, but I don't know. I've had that mindset. I've had this mindset for like 7 years now. So it's just like that.
Long habits die hard.
Hopefully,
Would you
I don't
also
know.
guys rather be told like what should be told to you, or what you want, what you think the other person would want to hear?
What do you mean?
Like if like say before like it's gonna be fucking hard, like how Aaron and me would tell you stuff about your breakup, how I would be like, we have to be real about it, have to be like, okay, it's always gonna happen, it's always gonna have a happy ending, like my depressed ass, right? And then Aaron, oh well, I mean, you never know, like would you want someone to tell you how it is, like for real, or would you want someone to like be like,
Because
oh okay, like it's
I don't want to
okay,
be
like
expecting. I never want to expect a breakup. Because what's the fucking? I'm gonna be worried about, like, oh, this relationship. If this relationship, I'm already like, hold on, give me a second. Like, I don't want to be like prepared. If it happens, it happens. I'd rather have it not happen and just never have that fucking thought of, oh, if it, I don't like, I'm already prepared for a fucking breakup. Because I'd rather just avoid that feeling in general. Because I don't want to go into a relationship being like, you know what, like if we do break up, whatever, yeah, I can move on. Like, no,
Because it rips the emotion out of that stuff, doesn't it?
exactly.
Like you just it
I want to go. I When I went into this, at first I was like that. I was like, if it goes, and like, nah. But by like halfway into a relationship, it became like awesome. Like it was one of the best things ever. I had matured and all that shit, and then like I was never expecting this. Like I'm telling you, like we were literally. It's weird to say, but it was like talking about marriage a week before this shit happens. I was already ready to spend the rest of my life with this girl, and it just gets like taken away, and I wasn't prepared for that. And I don't know. It's better me if I don't know how to continue it off, but
because personally, I think it would be better to already have the mentality of like, okay, it could happen. If it does, all right, like I'm already kind of expecting it. But if it doesn't happen and you guys get back together, then yay. But if it does happen, then you already had that, like you're already getting prepared for it, and it won't be as hard on you as like if you already had the mentality of like, no, yeah, we're probably gonna get back together. Like I feel like that would hurt way worse because you already had the mentality like, yeah, it's gonna work out, and then it didn't. And instead, like before, you would have the mentality of like, okay, it might not work out. Let's see where it goes. Like you're not being paranoid about it, but you're already being prepared for it. And like I
Yeah,
think
but
getting prepared is already
I feel like it just robs you of any sentiment. Because if I'm just gonna go into a relationship thinking, yeah, okay, you know what, a breakup might happen. I mean, I know breakups are bound to happen, but like I don't want that to be the first thing on my mind. You want it to nourish before it fucking
no, like yeah,
dissolves.
like I'm not talking about during the relationship. I'm talking about like if you have a break with the person. Like that's the only time you think about that. Not when you're like with the
I've
person. Like you're
never
not
had a
like not.
break, and I will never fucking advise a break. If a woman that I'm with tells me, can we have a break?" No, we're not having a break. I'm just gonna break it off with you. This is fucking pointless because breaks never
Yeah.
end well. If we have to end up in a break, just why? Something had to have led us to here. Either you're not prepared for me, or you think that I'm not worth your time, or we've hit a fork in the road that clearly we can't agree with. Why the fuck are we even together? I don't understand why I'm trying so hard for a relationship that you want to take a fucking break from. I'm supposed to be the person that you enjoy life with, not the person that you want to take time away from. Like, what the fuck is the point of this shit? That drives me up
Exact.
a fucking wall when people say they want to have a break. That fucking pisses me off, dude.
And when I had my break, I didn't. I've never had a break in my entire life, and so I didn't know how it worked. Like I didn't know if I talked to the person, see how they're doing
That's
or,
why
or
I would
not. Like
tell.
because yeah, I know what you're gonna say, but it's like I talk to this person every single fucking day, and then
That's why I
just
was
one day
optimistic
like
about
just
you.
gone, like it just gone like that. Like how the fuck, like what? And I feel like that makes it worse, like going through a break because if you're not supposed to talk, like they're just gonna either confirm their feelings and be like, oh yeah, like whatever, just go away, or I don't know, or maybe they want to come back, but it's more to the feelings of we're not gonna come back
That's exactly what it
because
That's why.
is.
That's why I lean towards me telling Gabriel stuff and not Aaron because Aaron's never gone through what me and Gabriel got through. I went through a break and I went through the whole thing. That's why I was telling Aaron, or that's why I was telling Gabriel the stuff that could happen in it. Aaron was like, I don't, like Aaron doesn't really have any experience in the break area. I do.
'Cause I despise that shit
That's
because I already know what happens. It's so predictable. It's like an anime. Everything is written for you. Like there's no reason. In my specific opinion, I honestly thought that there was a way that Gabriel could have gotten things together, but it's just I don't
and I
I
thought
did
so
like
too because
you could have told me the whole story, but I didn't know exactly how she was, how she felt. If I could have sat down, had a conversation with her, I would have already been able to tell you exactly how things were going to end up because like I said, people are so
no,
predictable now when you
Aaron,
read them.
this is the thing. This is the thing. So the first this was a 3 day, 4 day thing. First day we break up, fucking shit horrible. The next day happens, we talk a little bit, but it's just like, it's my break or whatever. The third day happens, she comes over, and me and her talk. We have our final goodbyes, but if anything, it went better. And her what she had told me was like, oh, like I feel more. I like she teared up when she saw me, and she was like, maybe I'm thinking about this wrong. Maybe I shouldn't do this. I'm more happier seeing him or seeing me, and then all that, and I thought I was like hopeful for it, like oh maybe we're gonna come back and all that shit. Like I was like oh, I'm gonna give this maybe another week and all that, and then the other week happens, and she's like you know what, no, like I think it's better we just break up and all that shit. I was like what the fuck happened? Like you were
Maybe
ready
it
to
was
come
just
back.
guilt. I don't know. Maybe it was just guilt that she had first off. She didn't want to leave you because she felt guilty, maybe leaving you in peace, but or lack thereof. But I don't know. Maybe she second guessed it real quick and then just realized she made a mistake. Maybe she already had everything already planned out right before it, but it's just the execution part of breaking up with someone. It's a lot harder to do than just thinking about it. So maybe when she tells you, "I want to have a break," the decision was already made up, and so that's why I'm saying that's why I was more optimistic about it. Like there's no reason to be so real about it like Dimitri says that it was better to be, but I was like what's the point of being so real with something about a topic that I don't know too much about, in the sense where I don't know how she was, I don't know what was her reasons for wanting a break. You can tell me what those reasons are, but what are her reasons? I need to know the full story. To which is why if I don't have the complete story, I'm going to give you an optimist view. It's not essential, but it's mindful.
And
Whereas a
it's
realistic view, it's very fucking unmindful and it's very just straight to the point about something. I'm the
and I'm
realest
in this
person I know, and when it came to that, I just wasn't gonna be real about it.
I'm in this
That's
weird situation where I want to know how it why she ended it, but at the same time I really don't because I feel like it would hurt a lot more if I found out the real reason why
Yeah,
she left me. And
yeah. At this point, don't
I'm
chase it.
exactly. I'm in the situation. I'm in. It's a shitty situation because there's some days I'm like, man, I really want to know why it ended. Why this perfect thing just ended out of nowhere. But then other times I'm like, I feel like I have a reason, like I know, but I don't want it to be confirmed.
Mhm. Because it might
yeah.
hurt
And
That's
more than just
also
not knowing.
it would hurt a lot more. I can tell you that for sure. I don't think I'd be able to recover from that.
yeah. That's why I'm more real with stuff now because that's what I wish I had that back then because everybody when I took my break they're like yeah dude don't worry like it'll be good it'll get back together better than whatever whatever. No, hombre, way. fucking like it was worse. Like I took that blow super fucking hard,
And I
and
remember
I
I was
think
one of the
I
people that was realistic at that point because I remember knowing both sides of it, and so it's just kind of like I just felt like I was just encouraging you in the wrong place, and I don't know, things fizzled out, and like they're not things to feel proud of, but it's just, I don't know, like that's why I felt like when you took the blow super hard, it's just like this shouldn't have happened. Like I was there to try and push you in the realistic direction that things should have been, but it's just natural for you to want to cling on to things that you don't want to disappear, especially after you put time into it.
To be honest, and if I feel like if I found out the main reason, I don't know what the fuck I'd do. Like I'm over here, hours and hours away, and if I had fun, I don't know what I would do if I found out the real reason. Like it sucks. Like I don't want to be like Dimitri's. Like he's lucky, I would say, because you had loved ones around you. Like you have your parents, you had us at the time when I was there around you all the time and
That's
helping you.
also
But
the thing. That's also the thing. I'm not like compared to you three. I'm not close to my family at all. Like you guys talk to your family on a daily basis. You talk to your sister constantly. I barely talk to mine. I barely say hi to
That's
mine.
debatable. I don't
Fucking
hardly talk to mine.
like Nick,
he's talking to
Nick,
me.
Talk to
Nick.
mine once a
But
week.
no, everybody like Nick and Aaron have your moms. Like you both talk to your mom super like I like you're best friends. Like you tell each other everything. I'm talking about shit.
Well,
I
for
don't
for
tell mine
me,
So like
anything.
I was
for f- go.
I know, like I'm in this house. Like after my breakup and I couldn't do COVID. Like yeah, I could talk to you guys, but I couldn't see you guys. Cause COVID, it just started, so I couldn't see you guys even after my breakup. So like this shit
No,
was whack, bro. Like I
the
was
shit.
like,
It's cause like for me, I had like a countdown, right, that I was gonna move out, and that's when I started getting. It sucks because in that countdown, that's when I started getting closer with everybody in my family, and now like my brother only like he's a fucking scumbag for it, but he only reaches out, and he says it himself all the time when he needs something from you, and that's when he'll reach out. And with me, I'm super close with him, so he'll reach out when he just wants to talk to me, but he always calls me at the worst time. Either I'm at work or he calls me early in the morning, and I don't have time to talk to them. My sister doesn't reach out for anybody because she's living out her own life. My dad, to be honest, I don't know what the fuck he's doing. Like I remember I counted the times I saw him in a year, and it was like less than a month, and I lived with the guy. And my mom is someone who I'm really close to. She's the only person in my family that I'm super close to, and that's why I'm like, when you're gonna move out, you're gonna miss being around those people, and that's why I always encourage Dimitri, like, talk to your family, because when they're gone, bro. Like you won't see. It's gonna suck not seeing them every day.
yeah. But I feel like even if I had moved out, I would have still felt the same. Like I'm pretty sure like how you feel about like being over there by yourself is the same way I felt even here. Like even if I had my family super close to me, like I felt the same. I still felt like alone. But
The
I guess
energy is gonna feel very
to
different when it does actually happen, though. Like it's a lot different from you
Dimitri,
think you've
yeah.
been
like,
feeling.
a 2 hour difference is a lot. Like with my girlfriend, or my ex at the time, like I was going through like the worst time of my life with work. Like it was just so stressful, and she had the opportunity to go home because she lived 30 minutes away from her family. I lived 2 hours away, so I had no time to talk with my family. I had no time or anything, because when I'd get out of the work, it'd be midnight, and they'd be dead asleep. And then I would go to sleep and just go to work and all that. I never got to see them, and I never had time to go with them. And with her, she'd go and have time to see them. I don't know if that makes sense, but like it just a luckier time or something.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just all part of character development. We go through what we go through, and it happens. Just makes us more prepared for the future.
Oh.
Nick, what about you? You've been a shy guy.
Sorry, give me a minute. I think hold on, this is gonna have to be the end for me. I'll tell you guys afterwards though.
Well, you gonna hit it?
No, hold on. I'll be back. Sorry.
This motherfucker.
We're one man down in the podcast. Oh no.
Oh Jesus.
What Alex? Alex, how about you, Ray?
What's up?
You left Qatar or what?
I thought you.
What if Qatar ever leaves you, bro? You gonna be okay?
I would have heard, dude. I've known her for like half my life, probably.
You known her for half your life, bro. I've known my fucking dog half my life too, bro. Right now, I've known this fucking cat for like 3 years, bro, and she's been scratching up all my furniture. It pisses me off. Is that right, Gata? And this is a podcast that either will be found or not.
I like to think of it as like a
Yeah.
memory. I mean, just imagine this in about 40, 50 years if you're in a retirement home and you're over here getting your fucking diaper changed and you're looking
Hell
back
yeah.
at a YouTube video. Quite literally, we're always thinking about what if there was a time machine? The time machine has been in your fucking hands the whole time, my guy. There's a photos album that contains videos and pictures. There's YouTube. And then furthermore, just to add to the flames, you got this shit here.
You wanna know
This
some weird
is
shit?
the time machine.
You wanna know some weird shit? There's no photos of me, or if there is, I don't know where they're at. But there is no photos of me from middle school at all. I do not. The only way I can look at it is a yearbook, but I don't own any of those yearbooks, and I highly
Bro,
doubt to
no
reprint
shot.
them.
Same here. What the fuck?
Like I didn't like being in photos in middle school. So like I don't know. I don't remember really how I looked like in
Same.
middle school.
I don't have any pictures of middle school. It's just elementary and high school.
I remember
literally have a
Aaron.
photo. I literally have a photo of myself from 5th grade, and then it jumps to 9th grade, and that's it. I don't have anything in that 3-year period.
A picture of Aaron looking like a fat Cuban laying down on
Yeah,
the floor.
dude, I look like young, like Pablo Escobar, or like a weird teenage one. I look fat, but I know I'm skin and bones, bruh.
Bro, I
Oh,
had I was
did
short
6th
and
grade
had a
Aaron.
fucking shit ton of hair, man.
We all did, bro. All of us had a shit ton of hair except for Nick. He had like a medium-sized hair.
They got an
Medium-
afro.
All of us had
medium
long
size?
hair.
No, Nick had
Medium-
an afro at one point.
Like
but
medium rare.
If you knew
Can I
Nick
get a
at that
medium-sized
time,
haircut?
oh man, dude.
Like little fat chubby Nick with kind of medium-sized hair.
Imagine people that we know from high school find this fucking podcast. They
I
start
don't
hearing
give a
this.
fuck, bro.
What you gonna do about it, bruh? What you gonna do about it?
Exactly.
Jesus.
Like, what the fuck? Who cares, dude?
What your 725 working ass?
You just don't gotta give a shit, bro. Just don't give a shit.
I hope
Anybody
your
who
grandma
we're
gets
talking about,
bullied
if
at the
anybody
bingo.
who we talked about sees this,
You
fuck
want to
'em.
know? So I went to a bar in where we're from, right? And to be honest, bro, I don't remember like about 99% of the people I went to school with. I just I just know their faces a little bit, and that's it. And I went to a bar one time, and some girl from our class, like she remembered like me, and I was like, dude, I never thought someone that wasn't around me would remember me, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like we were in a big class. I didn't think anybody else would remember my face, but she did. And I was like, oh, what the fuck? Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, I can remember faces, but
I remember
that's pretty
faces
much
and
There used to
that's
be a
pretty much
time-
the extent of it.
There used to be a time where I remembered everybody I went to fucking elementary with. Like I remembered all their names and their faces, and then I got to like probably like junior or sophomore year, and I was like, you know what? I don't give a shit anymore. And yeah,
Exactly.
and in that time, that's where I cut my hair.
You all cut her hair, bro.
What is it, the Dark
I'm
Ages or
not-
what the fuck?
Nah,
yeah,
I
we-
miss Aaron's long hair. That shit was crazy.
It's
Imagine
fucking.
if I still had it, everyone probably would have thought I was a pothead in high school.
Dude, people think I'm a fucking pothead right now, bro. I'm like, no, dude. I'm like the complete opposite, man. Like fucking love Star Wars, hate Jesus, you know?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, bro, like space Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
no. Yeah, or I pull off the skater vibe or a hipster vibe and shit like that. It's just like, nah, dude. Like, not gonna lie, man. You should fucking play the new Halo game because it looks fucking pretty badass. It's just like, I don't know. We're in an awkward situation where we want to end the podcast, but the person.
I think
who's
Nick can.
here-
I think Nick can edit this part out now. Like.
He can-
Oh,
Okay.
well.
Okay. All right.
That's the
Everybody
part
had-
that I set up.
Okay, man. Okay, Nick, you can edit that right there.
Just
add
cut
a
off
little
like the
Without a
last,
hiccup.
just cut off
You're
like
not
the last
talking
20, like 15 seconds.
Oh,
Like,
fuck.
like, we're in an
Where
awkward.
you have to look through a bunch of